Okay, so for the first one, I just asked you to read that paragraph and then tell me what a percent increase is and a percent decrease. So in general, there's a percent change, and the change can be either increase, which what does increase mean? What's happening in an increase? Yep, going up. Okay, or there can be a decrease, which of course means it's going down. And that just depends on the original amount. Okay, so a percent increase is an amount we're going to say that goes up. I know it says grown. Okay, so an amount that goes up, so mathematically it would be that it's grown. Okay, and then a percent decrease says it describes an amount that has been reduced. Okay, so we're going to say amount that goes down, and then in parentheses we'll put reduced. And the reason why it's important to have these specific terms here is because those might be terms used in one of the story problems. Okay, and then we do have a special formula for this. So remember last week I said if there's a formula, I like to put a little cloud in it. Okay, so it's the percent change equals the amount that's increased or decreased over the original. Okay, and then we're going to express it as a percent. So what that means is you're going to have to convert decimals to percents. So convert decimal to percent. That's what that means. Okay? All right, so we're just going to look at these two examples quickly so that we can apply it ourselves. And we're going to be doing like some underlining and some boxing in. So it's going to tell you from what number to another number. So it's from 25 to 49. So if you're going from 25 to 49, are you going up or down? If you start at 25 and you go to 49, yep, you're going up. I like that. You can just point for me, right? So when you're doing the percent change, what you're going to do is you're going to put the amount that it increased over the total amount. Now, to find the amount that it increased, what you have to do is subtract. Okay? When you subtract, look and see where this is. You always want to subtract so that you end up with a positive number. Okay, so you're always going to do the larger number minus the smaller number. So 49 goes first, then you subtract. Once you do that, how do you go from a fraction to a decimal? Divide. You guys did that. You guys did that on your last quiz. Okay, and then from here, you are going to change your decimal to a percent. So you can either just move it twice, okay, move the decimal twice to get your 96%. And honestly, you guys are really good at that. So your final answer would be a 96% increase. Okay, this is your solution. This is your answer. Okay? Now, the decrease is very similar. It's just when you start this, you start with, in this case, 50. So 50 to 45. That's obviously going down, correct? So your percent change is the amount of the decrease. And then your steps are the same, okay? We're not having conversations right now, okay? You got to take these notes so we can practice. Okay, so we're going to subtract. And then again, you always take the larger number. So what's bigger, 50 or 45? What's bigger, 50 or 45? 50. So the 50 goes first, the 45 is going to go second. And then the rest are the same. You don't have to simplify the fraction, okay? So let's actually, instead of this, let's just write it equals 0.1. That's what you'll see on your calculator is 0.1. And then from there you can change it. Okay, so then this is your solution. All right, so we're going to do the first one together. So find each percent change, and you have to say whether it's an increase or a decrease, exactly like these do. 10% decrease, 96% increase. You'll actually know that right away. So let's look at 1A. It says from 200 to 110. So is that going down or is that going up from 200 to 110? Down. So we're just going to say decrease, okay? All right. Now, what you're going to do to find the percent is you're going to subtract. So which one's bigger, the 200 or the 110? What's bigger, 200 or 110? 200. So that goes first, and you subtract. Okay, now, look at the bottom. The bottom says it's the original amount. That is always going to be the number that you start with, okay? So the 200, that is the original. So 200 goes on the bottom. All right, so now we're going to calculate this. So do this part with me. So when you do the next one, you'll know how to do it. So we're just going to do 200 minus 110. So we have 90 over 200. So after you subtract, you're going to divide. When you divide, you turn that into a decimal. Okay, and then will you guys do the last step where you're turning that into a percent and then put the decrease with it? Okay, so you should have, when you move the decimal twice, 45%. Okay? All right, so for 1B, and actually, no, we'll squeeze it in there. I'll make sure I do it better next time. Okay, so this is for 1A. This is going to be 1B. All right, so when you start, the first thing I want you to do is just tell me if it's an increase or a decrease. So right away, 25 to 30, Gabe, is that going up or going down? Reagan, just wait till from 25 to 30. If you go from $25 to $30, are you going up or down? Yep, so this is going to be an increase. And if you want, you can abbreviate that here. Okay, that's your increase. Now, when you set up the subtraction, okay, you're always taking the bigger number first. So last time we did the 25 to 30, we did the 200 first. But what's bigger, 25 or 30? 30. So we're going to do 30 minus 25. You always do the bigger number first when you subtract, okay? Now the bottom number is always the first one, all right? So this is the original. I'm just going to put OG for that. You guys know that means original. So if you have this, again, you're just going to subtract. We can do the first part without our calculator, because what's 30 minus 25? Just 5. Okay, and then we're just going to, and then I want you to turn that into a decimal, and then I want you to write your final answer and make sure you include increase. Okay, and then I'll have you do 1C on your own. What if you don't want to do 1C? I need you to try your best.